over the years, we have gotten just a little bit better with each passing season at using our area's seasonal food that's coming from the wild or coming from a farm at the right time of year. And lobster mushrooms should be no exception. They're this beautiful looking orange mushroom, and apparently they're actually a fungus of a fungus. So it's a fungus that takes over another fungus. This time of year, they are in season, and if you know where to look, you can find tons of them. What's amazing is that the lobster mushrooms in this mushroom saute that I prepared actually from the house, they were foraged by a man named Fred Wong. He is a farmer. He actually is a former chef of 30 years here in the Phoenix area. Moved to a northern community called Camp Verde, where he grows all kinds of fruit trees and has kind of a very homesteady situation. We met him at one of the farmers markets last year, where we bought a bunch of produce from him throughout the entire summer to sell at our store next door. Well, he approached us about having lobster mushrooms, and we got enough for the store, and then quickly decided that we wanted proof to have some too. Yesterday, I processed all the lobster mushrooms. And what I actually did was, first I cleaned them. Cleaning them involves having a bunch of kind of lobster mushroom shavings. I took those and made lobster mushroom butter. I strained out those shavings from the butter and then used that clarified butter to cook down onions, and then finally cook down the rest of the diced lobster mushrooms. They are definitely a delicacy. They're not cheap at the store because it literally requires going out and foraging them to have them. So trying to make a generous helping, and really the whole idea of this filling is for the lobster mushrooms to be the hero. I'm putting these on par-baked Danishes. So these sourdough pastry were run through our typical croissant workflow. They were actually proofed overnight and baked a little bit earlier in the morning to this level where they're not quite finished. They're far enough along that the bake has been set, but that's about it. And so now we're going to literally just finish the pastry. But before we do, I'm going to throw some cheese on top. So I'm using a provolone cheese. This one's pre-sliced. We have it to make some to-go cold-cut sandwiches from the bakery. And I just think it's the right cheese for the job. Provolone with the mushrooms and the onions. It's kind of a classic Philly cheesesteak combo. I'm very much expecting that the cheese melts. And because this is still an experiment, I'm going to vary the trays. I'll put a half a slice on this tray and a full slice on the tray that I'm working on, just to make sure the full slice doesn't cause a mess and isn't too much. Get a little comparison that way. So a half might be enough, we'll see in the final pastry. The pastry and the filling are already cooked through for the most part, and so now we're just finishing them. Hot open. I mean, it's hard not to be excited about these. A little bit of toasty cheese on top, a little melted, and a nice mushroom pastry. So aside from the fact that we have to verify whether the larger amount of cheese or the smaller amount of cheese is the right ratio, basically we're going to give this to the team at the team meeting so they can immediately get to know the pastry. And these are testers and special, and we'll put them out for sale today and hopefully they'll be on the menu very soon.